Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to tell you, my heart has been beating a mile a minute ever since I watched the latest General Hospital promotional trailer for the week of August 3rd through the 7th. If you have been following the show as closely as I have, you know that things in Port Charles are never quiet for long, but this upcoming week looks like it is going to take us on an absolute emotional roller coaster. I am just so eager to sit down and unpack all of this with you, because the situation brewing between Michael Corinthos, Willow Kane, and Jacinda Bracken is nothing short of a powder keg waiting for a match. It is the kind of classic edge-of-your-seat drama that reminds me exactly why I fell in love with these stories in the first place. Let us start by looking at this incredibly intense custody battle between Michael and Willow. Custody battles are always such a heavy, heartbreaking thing to witness, especially when there are precious children involved. As a mother and a grandmother watching a family tear itself apart over who gets to raise the little ones just tugs right at my heartstrings. Michael and Willow have been through the ringer, and their relationship has completely broken down into this bitter, painful fight. Willow is standing strong, holding her ground not just as a devoted mother, but also as a newly appointed member of the hospital board and a respected United States Congresswoman. She has built a life of dignity and public service, which makes what is about to happen to her all the more infuriating and tragic. Now enter Jacinda Bracken. Bless her heart, Jacinda is a young woman who has found herself completely out of her depth. When she first arrived on the scene, I think a lot of us were scratching our heads, wondering exactly where she would fit into the grand scheme of things. We all know she comes from a rather colorful background as a high-end escort, which is certainly a tough pill to swallow for a prominent family like the Corinthos clan. Initially, it seemed like the writers were setting us up for a very non-traditional love triangle involving Jacinda, Michael, and Christina Corinthos Davis. But as we all know, life happens, plans change, and with Christina flying off to attend medical school, the entire dynamic had to be rewritten. Without Christina in the picture, Jacinda has been left clinging tightly to Michael. The poor girl has absolutely no roots in Port Charles. She does not have a family to lean on. She does not have a history in this tight-knit town. And aside from Ezra Boyle, she really does not have any true friends to speak of. She is completely isolated, and in her desperation to secure her place in Michael's life, she is about to make a monumental, life-altering mistake. It is one of those moments where you just want to reach through the television screen, shake her by the shoulders, and tell her she is barking up the wrong tree. The trailer gives us this shocking, heart-stopping close-up shot of a small bag of pills. Immediately following that image, we see a tense, heavy scene where Nina Reeves and Michael are taking turns interrogating both Willow and Jacinda. Putting the pieces together, it is clear as day what is happening here. Jacinda, in a severely misguided attempt to play the hero, has decided to plant those drugs on Willow. She likely plans to slip them into Willow's purse or perhaps hide them somewhere in her congressional office. Jacinda genuinely believes that if she can frame Willow as a drug user, she will completely destroy Willow's credibility, guarantee Michael wins full custody of the children, and cement herself as the woman who saved the day. It is a classic case of someone thinking they are in the right place at the right time to do a favor without realizing they are actually opening a massive can of worms. Jacinda thinks she is being clever, but she is playing with fire and she is about to get burned in the worst possible way. She completely underestimates Willow, and more importantly, she completely underestimates the intelligence of the people surrounding Michael. You cannot just frame a sitting congresswoman and expect to walk away scotangent-free. It is foolish, it is reckless, and it is entirely born out of her deep-seated insecurity about her relationship with Michael. When I think about how this interrogation scene is going to play out, I can just feel the tension radiating off the screen. Nina Reeves is not a woman you want to cross when it comes to the people she cares about. Nina's going to be like a mother bear protecting her cub, demanding answers and refusing to let anyone pull the wool over her eyes. And then there is Michael. Oh, Michael. You can just imagine the absolute horror dawning on his face as he realizes what the woman he is dating has done. He is going to be sweating bullets when the truth comes to light. Let us look at this from Michael's perspective for a moment. He is locked in the fight of his life for his children. The absolute last thing he needs is a massive public scandal. It is already bad enough that he is dating a woman with a history as a high-end call girl. In the eyes of a conservative family court judge, that alone is a major red flag. But if that same judge were to find out that Michael's girlfriend maliciously planted illegal drugs on a respected congresswoman just to manipulate a custody ruling, it would be the final nail in the coffin for his case. Michael's reputation would be dragged through the mud, and he could lose his children forever. This brings us to the inevitable fallout. Michael is going to realize that Jacinda's actions, though perhaps rooted in a twisted desire to help him, have actually put him in the greatest jeopardy of his life. He is going to be furious, not just because what she did was morally wrong and highly illegal, but because she went completely behind his back. She did not consult him. She did not ask for his opinion. She just took matters into her own hands and nearly destroyed his entire family in the process. In a relationship, especially one under this much pressure, trust is everything. Once Jacinda breaks that trust by orchestrating this ridiculous pill scheme, there is absolutely no going back for them. I firmly believe that within the next few days of the storyline, Michael will have no choice but to cut all ties with Jacinda. He will have to nip this relationship in the bud immediately to save face in his custody battle. He will likely use his children as the primary excuse, telling her that he has to put them first and that her presence is simply too toxic for his family right now. But deep down, it will also be about his own pride and his anger over her foolishness. It is going to be a deeply emotional, tear-jerking breakup, but it is entirely of Jacinda's own making. From a storytelling perspective, I have to hand it to the brilliant writers of General Hospital. This entire pill-planting fiasco is the absolute perfect exit strategy for Jacinda Bracken. Since the original storyline with Christina fell through, Jacinda has been a character without a clear purpose. This dramatic failure gives her a definitive, memorable reason to pack her bags and leave Port Charles for good. It resolves the awkwardness of her lingering in town without any real connections, and it does so in a way that pushes the main characters forward. It is a win-win situation for the narrative, allowing the show to clean house and make room for new, exciting developments. And speaking of new developments, the rumor mill is buzzing with the news that Michael is going to be setting his sights on someone else very soon. The lovely Serena Baldwin is making her way back into the picture, and it seems Michael is going to be quite taken with her. Now, we all know Michael is not the type of man to pursue a new romance if he is still tangled up with someone else. For him to genuinely pursue Serena, he needs a completely clean slate. Jacinda's colossal mistake provides exactly that. By having Jacinda ruin her own chances through this sabotage attempt, Michael is freed up to move on to Serena without looking like the bad guy who just abandoned his girlfriend. It is truly fascinating how these soap opera storylines weave together, isn't it? When one door closes, a window opens. Jacinda's departure will pave the way for a brand new, likely very passionate romance between Michael and Serena, which I am sure will bring a whole new set of challenges and joys to our screens. Meanwhile, Willow will once again prove her resilience. She is a survivor, a woman who has faced down every obstacle thrown her way with grace and strength. Seeing her overcome this petty, vindictive trap set by Jacinda will only solidify her standing as a powerful, admirable woman in Port Charles. As I sit here reflecting on all of this, I just feel so grateful to be able to share these stories with you. These characters feel like old friends, and their triumphs and tragedies resonate so deeply with our own life experiences. We have all seen people make terrible choices out of desperation, just like Jacinda is doing, and we have all seen strong women like Willow stand tall in the face of adversity. It is the beautiful, messy reality of human emotion wrapped up in the captivating drama of General Hospital. I simply cannot wait to see how every single detail unfolds in the coming weeks, and I know you will be right there watching along with me.